Same thing that Dungey did, and it worked. I can't believe Short allowed that.
Short to the inside, too late. Townley's into second. See if he can put his head down and go after the leader. But he's going to have to work, because look at this battle. Hahn side by side with Regal now. Tremendous racing here at Thunder Valley. Whose line's better? Oh, obviously Hahn's. Didn't work out for Regal at all.
And
unless he goes by, that'll move him up to 6th.
Kept it running. I'm sure Regal, he'd love a do-over right there. He just didn't lean in enough. He was carrying so much speed in that battle, that pressure. He had to go in there faster and just wasn't laid over.
And now he's got the 55 of Kyle Chisholm on the Moto Concepts Yamaha right behind him. Take us through this, David.
Yeah, he's just in a battle. He's in a hurry. He's trying to beat Hahn to this berm, but he didn't lay it over enough for the extra speed he carried in. And that berm that had a little hook in it right there, just a little bit more, and as soon as it compressed and rebounded, he just was like, oh, man.
Now, maybe you saw last time around, Dungey just ran a 2:11. That's the fastest lap of the race. Short trying to stay with Townley as Townley tries to stay with Dungey. Dungey's putting the hammer down. This could be a private duel for second if they can't keep the number 5 Suzuki in sight. How about Short, though, showing some fight? Not letting Townley have it.
He just blew that corner again. I think he was thinking a little bit, going, okay, I can't mess that up again. I can't mess that up again. And he messed it up again. And Townley was leaning on him through there. So it's not that Short blew it so much as that Townley really forced the issue right there. And he wants the win. He's not happy where he's at. He wants to catch Dungey. You can see Dungey down there just disappearing out of the picture. And for these guys to be capable of winning and mess up, and see Dungey up there, and then Dungey's leading this again, you're just like, oh, you just hate the guy.
Yeah.
You know, because he's taking money out of your wallet. He wants what you have, and wants what you want, and he's getting it and you're not. That's just, I've been there. It's frustrating. And sometimes you over-try and mess up more, and the guy wins by even an easier mark.
Well, that's what happened to our first Moto winner. Josh Grant goes down to turn 1. Chad Reed goes down a few corners later. They're more frustrated than ever. Go back to this battle. Townley, Short, Metcalf, Tommy Hahn. Well, he saw that Rockstar banner there. He's part of the team. You don't want to go that close.
That's a good effort. You know, that's frustrating, though.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously had the speed. Considering how well he rode with the first Moto, he's trying to make a pass. That's going to drop him, I would think, outside the top 10 now.
I was going to say, it's going to be hard to get back on the track.
So now we're down to Short versus Metcalf. And with all this racing, we're suddenly near the halfway point of this Moto. It's going fast when you got this much to watch.
You know what? And I can relate to this, having raced plenty. If Short could have jarred up that frustration and that anger and that motivation that he had moments after the checkered flag in the first Moto and kept it, that's what he needs right now, that fight.
Well, he's going to need it because the pressure being applied by Brett Metcalf. You got the factory Honda and the factory connection Honda duking it out for third as Townley goes after the leader, Ryan Dungey. Stay tuned. Red Rock's not far away from our track here in Lakewood, Colorado. That's one of the most storied concert venues in the world. Great acoustics, but I'll tell you what, you know what sounds good as well? 4 wins in a row, and that's what Ryan Dungey could be closing in on right now. He's got an 8.3-second lead over Ben Townley. We're halfway through this Moto. Townley is riding as hard as he possibly can, but Dungey is still running 2:11 lap times and pulling away.
He's pumping the track really well, generating speed, hopping over bumps. Lines are coming together. Look at the lead. And the more that happens, the more he can relax a little and probably ride even better, where Townley is a little more desperate, going, come on, get up there, and then you make a little mistake and you lose everything you just gained, and then the gap widens even more. So Dungey just really forcing the issue here and making everyone try so hard, they're messing up.
Metcalf is in 4th, and then you got to look at the KTM Mike Alessi in 5th. Alessi, a tough first Moto outside the top 10, but trying to salvage something here at Moto 2. There's Mehdi, who is 3rd in points actually coming into this race. He's been very consistent this year. Let's see what Alessi can do. Hit the reset button after a bad first Moto. Much better this time.
In practice, coming over that jump, the wind kicked up, just a weird gust, and it blew the banners across the track. It wrapped around his neck and yanked him off the bike. He just stood there like, come on. It's been kind of one of those days. He's trying, though.
Here's Kyle Riegel, who went down earlier, battling it out with Tommy Hahn, and quickly got himself back up, and he's running a very fast pace, and that's hard to do when you crash. You pick it right back up and go as fast as you were.
Yeah, that was a nice recovery. And, you know, it just kind of shows when you get back up and start riding that hard, it shows that he belonged up there, and he feels like he can get back to there. It's still early in the race.
And we got Kyle Chisholm on the Moto Concepts Yamaha. Back in January when Supercross began, this guy didn't have a ride. He told me, I'll put my bike in a pickup and ride Anaheim if I need to. And he quickly established himself and picked up the Moto Concepts ride. He's ridden pretty well in top 10 so far this summer. And now we finally see Chad Reed, who was down on the first lap. Just another rough day for Chad Reed, 8th place.
Just going to comment on how nice he transitioned to that big berm down there. Just beautiful, and then he messed up the exit kind of, so just a little off balance today. And I don't know that he's really ever done that great here.
No.
I don't think he likes this place that much.
Tommy Hahn is in the pits. Remember, he dislocated his shoulder last week in Maryland, but they're carrying him off. I've got to think that's a lower body injury. Aaron Bates, what do you have?
Well, guys, I just asked Tommy Hahn if we could grab a word from him, but apparently he just mentioned that he's got a broken leg, and riders know their bodies well enough to know the situation that's taking place. But as you're witnessing, he was just sat on the back of the mule. The Asterix medical team is taking good care of him. They'll observe him, take him back, and make sure everything's okay.
Oh, that is terrible. His best ride of the season in the first moto where he got 3rd. And his brother Will is actually out with a shoulder injury. Tommy came in with a shoulder injury of his own, toughed it out, and his reward for toughing it out, even more pain. Wow.
Motocross can be like this awesome ballet or just brutal.
We're going to show you what happened to Chad Reed earlier in this race. Just stuffs it into this berm. Take us through it, David.
Well, there's a million braking bumps, a lot of riders in front of him, and Metcalf messing up and pausing a little bit, and Chad was already committed with his foot off the brakes. He had his foot out already and just thought he could squeeze through there, couldn't quite do it. Riegel fit through there. And that kid is really starting to show some muscle, man.
Yeah. I was going to say, think of where Reed would have been in the order. He was passing Metcalf, who is now in 4th.
But here's something that Chad could think about. You know, he's pretty far behind in the points right now, but and it's getting worse. But yeah. I think last year after this, I think Chad was like, I'm over it. You know, why did I say I was coming back to the outdoors? You know, I did an interview. I'm happy. I'm glad to be back. And I think after this round last year, I'm just speculating, but he was like, maybe I'm not as into it as I thought. But he came back and won the championship. He's got to remember that and just stay in the fight, you know?
I'll talk about some memories here from last year. Mike Alessi came into this race 14 days out of a broken kneecap and tried to race this event last year to salvage some points. Had a big run-in, very high profile, with his old rival, Josh Grant. And we'll take you through what happened there. Very, very, very dark days for Mike Alessi here last year. Grant versus Alessi, and we'll never forget how it turned out there. Josh Grant effectively ended Mike Alessi's season. They're both back this year, but they're back in the pack too. Stay tuned. Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, Colorado. Our first moto winner, Josh Grant, dead last off the start. The second moto, he's already up to 11. Before we went to break, showed you what happened last year between Josh Grant and Mike Alessi. Let's talk to these guys about exactly how it went down. And here comes Grant right by him. Oh, he takes it down! That is the worst case scenario for Mike. Can he even get up? Can he even stand on that bad leg?
Yeah, Colorado last year, I mean, there was a lot of drama that went on between me and Mike, but I mean, it was a racing incident, and I wanted to make the pass. He's a hard guy to get around, so I was like, all right, this is my only opportunity to really do it, and so I took my own line that, went across his, and we ended up hitting, and he ended up going down, and I almost crashed at the same time, so it was like, I wouldn't want to take us both out, and I was in the hunt for the championship also.
You know what, there's a thing you gotta forgive and forget. I mean, it was a racing incident when you look at it. It was a racing incident, but you know what, I'm not gonna hold it against him because I'm not that kind of person where I'm gonna live in the past, you know what I mean? But I definitely will